I'm JJ Sawicki from TRC. Welcome to our Heat Pump Boss series, Level Up Your Heat Pump Installs. We've got the tools, tips, and how-tos that will help make you an expert heat pump installer. Today we're going to focus on dehumidification. Let's dive right in. Here are the topics we'll cover in this video: managing indoor humidity with heat pumps, options for supplemental dehumidification, and recommendations for keeping humidity in check. More details to come shortly. Keeping water and humidity out of homes is as comprehensive an effort as keeping a home the right temperature. Doing it right takes a whole home approach. Too often, we think that a humidity issue is the fault of the air conditioning or heat pump system, when really, that's just one line of defense. Any humidity control effort needs to start at the beginning. First is keeping bulk moisture out of the house. This means ensuring the building shell holds through proper exterior flashing and roof maintenance, proper attic ventilation, and in the basement, solid water sealing, drainage, and maybe even a sump pump. No heat pump or AC system can keep a space appropriately dry if bulk moisture is getting in. Second is using the V in HVAC ventilation. Mechanical ventilation takes two forms. Form 1 is spot ventilation. Your bath fans and kitchen hood should be used whenever you're adding steam or water into the house. Run them for 5 to 10 minutes after you're done showering or boiling water. Form 2 is whole house mechanical ventilation, which refreshes the indoor air and gets some air movement within the house, though not all buildings have those installed or functioning. HRV or ERVs with balanced ventilation is always best, but exhaust only is better than nothing. It's also worth noting that balanced ventilation systems should be used whenever possible. These systems help avoid pulling contaminants like radon, mold, and other pollutants into the house. While it may not always be feasible to implement, it's a good practice to prioritize balanced systems for better indoor air quality and overall health. The key is to make sure those systems are on and running regularly. And third is pulling humidity out of the air. That happens as a byproduct of cooling, whether by heat pump or air conditioner. It also happens when running a heat pump water heater. But if that's not enough to handle the need, you might need to also consider an active dehumidifier, particularly for locations in the house where the envelope isn't quite doing the job of blocking moisture from getting in, typically the basement. But before we get into how to maximize the usefulness of heat pumps for their dehumidification role, let's just refresh on why we need to keep humidity levels low in houses to begin with. There's the occupant comfort angle. Most people find air that's between 30 and 60% relative humidity to feel comfortable. Higher than that can feel clammy or sticky. Lower than that might lead to dry skin or cracked lips. Then there's health and safety. Wet surfaces and fabrics can lead to mold and mildew growth. This means musty smells, increased breeding grounds for certain indoor insect pests like dust mites, and molds can lead to health problems, exacerbated allergies, respiratory issues, and more. And finally, there's damage to the home. Rot, structural damage, costly mold damage to furnishings or window frames, or peeling paint and wallpaper, insulation getting destroyed or rendered ineffective from water. The good thing with some thoughtful building science, including the dehumidification benefit from heat pumps, we can keep homes at the right humidity levels and avoid all these problems. So, getting back to heat pumps. While cooling, heat pumps, just like air conditioners, remove moisture from the air. And cold climate heat pumps are especially good at this because they can turn down in mild temperatures. They are designed to run for long run times at slow, steady speeds instead of cycling on and off. This is ideal for moisture removal, which requires those long run times. But this does mean that it's especially important that our heat pumps aren't excessively oversized to the load, because oversized heat pumps will cycle on and off, even cold climate ones. Because we're sizing cold climate heat pumps to the heating load, they are naturally oversized for the cooling load. For homes with humidity control history or humidity issues, we especially need to right size carefully so we're in a good position to dehumidify effectively during normal cooling operations. But if the heat pump in cooling mode isn't able to meet the need, there are a few other options to layer on top as supplemental dehumidification. First, many heat pumps have a dry mode, sometimes labeled as dehumidify or cool to dry. In these modes, the heat pump will extend its run times to enhance moisture removal. Next, you can consider portable dehumidifiers. These are freestanding plug-in appliances with a water reservoir and various options to drain it, including some that require the homeowner to dump the water manually when the water reservoir fills up. These are great for specific rooms or spaces that have humidity issues and are common for basements. For homes with even bigger needs, you can also install a dedicated dehumidifier. These are heavy-duty machines with replaceable components and longer warranties that can be controlled by a remote humidistat. They are frequently ducted or integrated into space conditioning ducts, but can also be installed unducted. The flavor of these is a ventilating dehumidifier that brings in, filters, and dehumidifies fresh air using an energy recovery ventilation approach. When considering dehumidifiers, it's important to account for the design dew point temperature of the location. The switchover point between ERVs and dehumidifying ventilators is typically 55 degrees. Using both systems with controls to alternate between them, having the ERV operate below 55 degrees in shoulder seasons and the dehumidifying ventilator above 55 degrees can optimize performance. This approach reduces compressor use for both dehumidifiers and heat pumps, leading to a faster payback period of about half the time than using just a dehumidifying ventilator alone. For most of New York State, excluding the Adirondacks, a dehumidifying ventilator is generally the preferred choice. Manufacturer references can provide guidance on the appropriate design temperature for specific locations. When it comes to supplemental dehumidification, here are a few recommendations to keep in mind. First, if the heat pump has dehumidify mode like dry or cool to dry, encourage homeowners to use them whenever possible. These modes can help extend run times and improve moisture removal. For homes where indoor humidity regularly exceeds 60%, recommend a dedicated or portable dehumidifier to provide additional support. It's also important to educate homeowners that supplemental dehumidification is meant to enhance, not replace, the performance of their heat pump. Proper humidity control often requires a combination of solutions. Finally, for tightly built homes with poor airflow, consider ventilating dehumidifiers. These systems not only manage humidity, but also bring in fresh air, improving overall indoor air quality and comfort. For more information on dehumidification, please see our Dehumidification in Heating Climates resource. A link will be in the description. Thanks for diving in with us on dehumidification. Remember, we're here for you at cleanheatconnect.ny.gov with more videos, resources, guides, and best practices. Hope to see you in our other sessions as we complete better installations together, one project at a time.